Of course, as we all know, the Sonic the Hedgehog series has a plethora of characters, remarkable for their character designs and personalities. I haven't done a tier list in a very long time, so I'm very excited to go over a tier list with all of the Sonic the Hedgehog characters. As you can see, this is going to take a very long time, so let's just get right into it. This is every single Sonic character ranked. This is gonna get crazy. Let's start with renaming our tiers. I hate the double S, so let's just go Ultimate. And in classic Sonic fashion, let's just leave S, A, B, C, and D tier. Can I add a list? Because some of these characters I just don't know whatsoever. So, okay, classic Sonic. Classic Sonic, I'm gonna have to say, man, I'm gonna have to say S tier. He is our first character that we're introduced to. Obviously, he is the staple of the series. And this is the guy that it all started with. So I really like his classic games. Other than Sonic the Hedgehog 1, I really don't like that game. But everything else, I mean, he's a hero. He does the right thing. He's just the true virtue of a hero. So he's got to be S tier. Super Sonic Classic. I feel like that's kind of a... I don't know. I don't really know if we should rank super forms, but if I had to, I'll put Super Sonic Classic right below Sonic. Just because, I mean, they're the same person, right? They're the same person. It's just a super form. I didn't get introduced to Super Sonic until the Dreamcast era, so it wasn't that cool for me to see him in the classic era. He's also just not that useful in the classic series. I mean, obviously he stomps bosses, but to get the emeralds is kind of a drag. So I feel like just beating it normally, I feel like he should be one step below classic Sonic, but he's great. Next, Hypersonic. Yeah, this is an F tier. I don't care. It's my tier list. I hate the concept of Hypersonic. I made a video on my hot takes recently, and I think that Hypersonic is just... he should not be in the series, and I'm glad that they retconned him, because having a form above Supersonic defeats the whole purpose of Supersonic. If you're gonna do a more powerful version of Supersonic, just give him more abilities. Just evolve on the Supersonic form instead of giving him another form. I think that's the right way to go. So I really do not like Hypersonic. Next is Classic Eggman. He is going in C. I mean, standard villain, doesn't really talk. I mean, none of the classic characters do, but he doesn't have that much personality per se. Like, he's just a standard run-of-the-mill, literally mustache twirling villain. So I'm gonna have to give him C tier. He's not that compelling in the classic games. Classic Tails. I really like Classic Tails. He's definitely better than regular Tails, so I'm gonna have to give Classic Tails an A. He's very helpful in a lot of the games that he's in. He's a trusty sidekick. What else is there to say about Classic Tails? Collects rings for you, damages bosses, can fly you up to higher platforms. He's just very useful, and he doesn't get in the way, really. A lot of games that have companion characters, the characters can really get in the way, but Classic Tails, he's chilling. So I'm gonna give him A tier. Super Tails. I'm gonna give him unknown. Just because I didn't play as classic Super Tails in any of the games, so I'm not really sure. I also don't know if I like the concept of a Super Tails for now, well, in the classic era, I should say. I just think he doesn't have enough personality, but I also think it's the fault of the lore around the Chaos Emeralds. I feel like if you were to use the Chaos Emeralds, you need to be really in tune with your spirit. So I feel like Sonic definitely fits that category. Shadow at the end of his story fits that category when he fights against the Bio Lizard in Sonic Adventure 2. I feel like he developed that power at the end. Silver, of course, at the end of Sonic 06. So these characters make sense to have super forms. But Tails, he's kind of just the sidekick. I mean, he knows his place, but I wouldn't say that he has the power to have the Chaos Emeralds or be super powered by the Chaos Emeralds. I feel like that's definitely something that a more steadfast and heroic person would have. Not that he's not, but not to the degree of Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. So, Super Tails, let's put him in unknown. Classic Amy. Classic Amy's cute, but she is kind of just a nothing burger. Especially in Sonic CD, she's a damsel in distress, which is fine in some cases. I just don't think she has like enough personality, and she wasn't really developed in the classic games. Not her fault, but that's just how I feel. Metal Sonic. Classic. This guy is really cool and really menacing. In Sonic CD, though, I was less impressed only because I've seen him in so much other media. So for me, Metal Sonic is going to get B tier. And not because he's not a cool character, but again, it's the classic Metal Sonic. I've seen more, villainous and vile versions of Metal Sonic. So for classic right now, I'm going to put him at B tier. And maybe I'll change that later, but for now, definitely B tier. Classic Knuckles. I love Classic Knuckles. And I love his story in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. He's going in A tier. I like that he gets tricked into believing Dr. Eggman and believing that Sonic stole or is stealing the emeralds for himself. And then I'm always a sucker for a trope where the villain becomes reformed and joins your team. I love that trope. I'll always fall for it. And Knuckles is definitely one of the cases where that really worked, especially in Sonic Movie 3. I know we're not talking about that right now, but again, in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it definitely worked for me. And he completed the primary color trio. So we got Sonic Blue, Tails Yellow, and Knuckles Red. I love that. I love their team. So, and I love Knuckles. A tier. Super Knuckles, again, unknown. I do like the concept of Knuckles having a super form. I really do. I don't exactly like the design of Super Knuckles. I don't like the pink color. I think he should have a yellow color, just like Super Sonic and Super Shadow and Super Silver. I think we should keep that yellow concept. But other than that, I haven't really played as Super Knuckles in the classic games, so I can't really say too much about him, unfortunately. Egg Robo. I mean, he does exactly what he needs to do. Egg Robo. Well, what can I say about Egg Robo? The greatest character in the Sonic franchise, Egg Robo. Silver Sonic. I hate this guy. He sucks. I hate his design. It's weird. It's creepy. He's fast. And I don't like him. So that's where Silver Sonic's going. Mecha Sonic Mark 1. I love this boss. It was super hard to beat. One of the hardest bosses in the game. So if I'm just going to compare classic Metal Sonic in Sonic CD and Mecha Sonic Mark 1 in Sonic 2, I'm gonna put Mecha Sonic Mark 1 over Metal Sonic. That might be a hot take, but it's only one step above, only because I thought that boss fight was insanely hard and it was super satisfying to finally beat. So that is where Mecha Sonic Mark 1 is going. Don't kill me, please. Mecha Sonic Mark 2. If we're going right off the games, if we're only going off the games, I'm not talking about Sonic, Mario, Z, Super Mario Bros. Z. I'm not talking about none of that. Just straight up Mecha Sonic Mark 2 in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. He's going to be a D tier. Because he doesn't nearly live up to the hype of classic Metal Sonic or Mecha Sonic Mark 1. He's a boss that copies other bosses in the past. Cool concept, but if you're going to make a Mark 2 version of Mecha Sonic, you want him to be even harder than that boss, and he's kind of a pushover. So that's where Mecha Sonic Mark 2 is going to go. I don't know anything about the Archie comics. Let me preface that too. I know he's in the Archie comics. You beat me. You beat me. I don't know anything about the Archie comics, and honestly, I have no interest in reading them. Maybe I will eventually, but for now, we're not doing that. Heavy Gunner. I hate this guy. You know what? Every single one of these guys is going in F tier. Actually, except Heavy Magician, because he turns into Bark and Fang and Bean. Boss in that, he's gonna be C tier. But everybody else, oh my god, so annoying. Attacks that you can't block. Rings are super scarce in the, I think it's Metal Madness or Metal Monarch, something like that. Correct me, in Sonic Mania. These guys suck. So bad. I hate that boss fight. I genuinely hate that boss fight. In Super Sonic can't even help you in that boss fight. So, yeah, they're all going in F. I hate them. As a concept, though, I will say they are cool. I like the concept of them having Eggman drones that are more powerful than the standard ones, different color coded, or different color codes, and each one specializes in a different attack or fighting style. I do like that concept oldest time. In any case, still F tier for me. Sorry. Trip the Sun Gazer. I really like Trip. I know she doesn't have the best characterization, but I really do like Trip. Like, her design and her demeanor are really cute. I like her as a person and as a character, and I love that she has the power to tap into the Chaos Emeralds. I know I'm contradicting what I said in the beginning, because I feel like you have to be one with your spirit. I don't think that she really is like that, but her super form is so unique. I love that. I love a unique super form where she turns into an actual dragon. That is really cool. I'm gonna put Trip, since she doesn't really have too much characterization, I'm gonna put her right above Amy. I kind of like her more than Amy in C tier. And Super Trip, because of the design alone, I'm gonna put in B tier, right below Metal Sonic Classic. And don't worry if the tier list seems kind of off right now. I'm gonna adjust at the end. Alright, Mighty. Love me some Mighty. He's really cool. I wish we got to see more of him. That's the only problem. We don't have a lot to go off of. I loved him in Sonic Mania Adventures. He is really cool. He's not really another form of Knuckles. If anything, I would say he's another version of Sonic. He's a very heroic character. He's not a pushover. And his dynamic with Ray is really cute. Again, he's only going so low because he's going to be in C tier. He's only going so low because, again, there's just not a lot of media where he's in. So I can't really judge him too much. And the same goes with Ray. But I'm going to put Ray slightly below Mighty, only because I feel like he's not as heroic as Mighty. And I kind of don't like the sidekick who is just a pushover. I don't like a sidekick that's always relying on the main character. I did a whole video about Tails and the problem with him. So, yeah, that's why I'm going to put Ray and Mighty. Vector. Vector Classic. Okay, let's just put Vector Classic and Unknown. I didn't play Sonic. Oh god, what is it? What is it? Knuckles Chaotix? I think that's the game where they have the rings and they sling each other off. Didn't play that game, so I don't really know too much about them, unfortunately. So I'm gonna put them in Unknown, and then we'll talk about their modern counterparts. Heavy and Bomb. Let's just go off of his design. I like this. I do like this. Again, it's kind of a nothing burger, but I do like this more than, obviously, the Egg Robo, just standard Egg Robo. So I'm going to put Heavy and Bomb right above Egg Robo, because I do like his design, or their design. And I do know that they have like a dynamic with each other. I don't know too much, but I'll put them in C tier for design alone. Metal Sonic Kai, don't know that. Oh, I do. That's from Sonic Mania. The boss fight wasn't really that hard, to be honest. It was really cool, though. It was very menacing. I wouldn't say it's below Mecha Sonic. I like it way better than that. I would put it above Heavy and Bomb. Yeah, I put it at Metal Sonic Kai right here. I just think it's another version of Metal Overlord. Like, let's be real. Fang the Sniper. We need more Fang representation, man. We need more Fang. I like classic Fang. I think he's a really cool villain, and I want to see more of him. And I wish we got it in Sonic Mania. If we get a Sonic Mania 2, please don't do Eggman again. Please. Can we just move on from Eggman? Fang was great in Sonic Superstars as well. You know what? I'm going to put him at the bottom of the B tier instead. I think he deserves it. I really like Fang. I like the anthropomorphic villains. I really like the anthropomorphic villains. We need more of that. I hope the audio didn't get cut out because I had to take a call. And it lasted 24 hours, which is why it's the next day and why I'm wearing a new shirt. So let's continue with the tier list. Next is Bark the Polar Bear. He is another one of those classic characters that just has not had enough time. But going off of what we've seen and his design, I love Bark. I really do. I really like Bark. But I would have to say that he's less than classic Amy. Just again, only because he has not been very prevalent in the games. Bean, he's a little less than Bark. I like Bark a lot more. I like the fact that Bark is kind of influenced by Fang, and he doesn't really want to go along with Fang's antics. So I like that he's a gentle giant. Bean is kind of more like erratic, and he is much more on the level of Fang in my opinion. So I'm gonna put Bean a little bit below Bark. Honey the Cat. I'm biased towards Honey the Cat. I really like her as a character. I have read some of the Archie stuff with Honey the Cat involved. So, but to be fair, I did say no Archie, no anything like that. So I'm gonna put Honey right in between Bark and Bean. I like Honey a little bit more than Bean. Honey should be a main staple, in my opinion. Finally, let's get into the Dreamcast era. I've been waiting for this. Sonic in the Dreamcast era, in my opinion, and I might catch some slack for this, is going... Oh god, sorry, it's really slow. He's going above classic. I love me the Sonic Dreamcast era, that attitude that he has. He always wants to do the right thing. Hero through and through. And very carefree. I love that version of Sonic. I think he should be like the wind, going wherever it takes him. Not a care in the world. Doing the right thing for his friends. That is the definitive Sonic the Hedgehog for me. And I love his characterization. Enough said. Super Sonic in the Dreamcast. Again, not really a unique character. But this was my first introduction to Super Sonic. So it's going right below Sonic Dreamcast. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 is my first ever Sonic game. And when you could go Super Sonic, that was something else, man. And also Super Sonic in Sonic Adventure 1 and Super Sonic in Sonic Heroes. Just can't beat it, man. Just can't beat it. That is, of course, until we do beat it, which we'll talk about later. Alright, Tails in the Dreamcast. Solid. Such a solid character. I've already talked about Tails in my Where to Next video of Tails. But definitely solid. I don't know if I would put Dreamcast Tails above Classic, though. I honestly think I like Classic Tails more than Dreamcast. Yes, he does go through his famous character arc in Sonic Adventure 1. But he definitely lacks a little bit more in Sonic Heroes. He is really good in Sonic Adventure 2, though. You know what? I'm lying. I don't know why I'm lying. He's going at the top of A tier. Tails and Dreamcast did a lot during that era. He was pretty much the driving force of Sonic Adventure 2. Like, without him, the team would be screwed, actually. And to kind of clear up the controversy with Sonic Adventure 2 and his mishap with the fake Chaos Emerald, Dr. Eggman already knew that Chaos Emerald was fake. He was just trying to get at Tails' spirit, saying that he already, Tails told him that it was the fake Chaos Emerald. Nah, that's not true. He already knew. Play the Dark Story over again. He knew that it was a fake Chaos Emerald the whole time. So, Tails didn't screw anything up. He didn't fumble. Yeah, Tails is a beast. I like him. He's going to be at the top of A tier. Dreamcast Knuckles. Dreamcast Knuckles, I feel like he takes a huge backseat. He is a bumbling idiot in Sonic Adventure 1. Like, why would you ever trust Eggman again? After the events of Sonic and 3 Knuckles, I feel like they just wanted to pay homage to it, and it just didn't work out. It didn't have the consistency that you would want. So, Dreamcast Knuckles is definitely going to be in B tier. I think he'll be right below Metal Sonic Classic. Yeah, that seems like a good place to put him. I don't want to talk too much about all these characters just because it's going to be forever, but Dreamcast Amy Rose. The best version of Amy Rose, in my opinion. Yeah, Dreamcast Amy Rose is definitely better than Classic. I would say Dreamcast Amy Rose, yeah, I would put her right below Dreamcast Knuckles. I just like Knuckles more as a character. And in Sonic Adventure 2, he does get a pretty good role. In Sonic Adventure 1, his backstory was really fleshed out, but his character himself wasn't as well done as I would like it to have been. Amy, you know what? Yeah, Amy loses points solely off of Sonic Heroes. That characterization was not it. But everything else, Sonic Adventure 1, that is like the definitive Amy game, Sonic Adventure 1. So she kind of gains points and loses points, so she's kind of in the middle. In Shadow the Hedgehog, she doesn't really do much. Obviously, it's not really her game. And in Sonic Adventure 2, she is pretty much a nothing burger as well. So she's definitely going to be below Knuckles. But still above Trip. I think I would still put her above Fang and Trip. Easily. Easily, no doubt. There's going to be a big gap between Amy Rose and Fang in the B tier right now. So we got a lot of characters to fill in between that. Big the Cat is Ultimate tier. I don't need to say anything else. Froggy, I hate this motherfucker, man. I hate him so much. E102 Gamma. A robot in Eggman's arsenal, gaining sentience and gaining emotion through Amy Rose, by the way. Come on, man. Come on, man. And the fact that he chose to sacrifice himself is really... A lot of these characters don't really sacrifice themselves. Like, they never had to do that. Obviously, they're not going to kill off the main characters. But that's what makes Gamma so special. I feel like he's not above Tails, but he's definitely above Classic Knuckles. I'll put him right there, right below Dreamcast Tails in A tier. Next is Dr. Eggman, Dreamcast version. Yeah, this is obviously my favorite version of Dr. Eggman, as many people would agree. This is definitely S tier. I would say he's right below. Honestly, sometimes he's above, but I'm gonna put him below, right below Sonic Dreamcast version. He is just so evil and so methodical, and we do not get that anymore. I miss the time where Eggman was a real threat. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just a goofy villain. That kind of started with Sonic Unleashed. But they didn't lean too much into it, because he still succeeded in his plan. And he built Eggman Land in that game. But in the Dreamcast era, right before Sonic Unleashed, man, this guy was a menace. Destroying the moon, trying to take over the planet. Like, his plans were actually working. If there weren't for outside forces that he could not have seen coming. he definitely would have won in Sonic Adventure 2. Chaos is a meh villain. I like his story. I really do like his story, actually. Now that I think about it, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Because his backstory is really tragic. And I really, really like the fact that he has been tortured. He's watched his whole family lineage get wiped out. He's been trapped in the Master Emerald. And of course, if that were to happen to someone, you would unleash rage wherever you can. So I do like Chaos, but I don't think he's like the greatest character. He definitely lacks personality. We didn't get to see his nice side after Sonic Adventure 1, which I'm okay with. I think that's a good way to end it. So I can't really put him too high in the tier list. So I'm gonna put him, I think it's fair to put him right under Dr. Eggman Classic. I would prefer Dr. Eggman Classic over Chaos, but I still really like him. Even though C tier is pretty low, I still feel like he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Next, Tikal. I love Tikal. I love Tikal, being the only one in her race, in her family, that is totally against going after the 7 Chaos Emeralds in a quest for power. She was like the saving grace. She was a hero. She couldn't do much against a whole army of her own people, but she cared so much for the Chao, and she cared so much for Chaos, and she just cared a lot for peace in general. She's a very religious character, and I really want that. Like, I think that we're missing some of that. Not that any of the main cast should have it, but I miss Tikal because she brought that mystical element to the Sonic the Hedgehog roster. I really like. I know that Knuckles is, but he's very much more out of tune since he didn't really have the opportunity to grow up with the family. He was a child when all of his family was wiped out in the events of before Sonic Adventure 1, that whole leading up to the war for the 7 Chaos Emeralds. So I really, really like Tikal. I'm gonna put her in B tier. That sounds low, but we only save the best for the best. You know what I'm saying? So Tikal is gonna go, honestly, because of her blunder in Sonic Heroes, Amy, I think I'm gonna put her above Amy Rose. Listen, Sonic Adventure 1 was the game for Amy Rose, but it also was the game for Tikal. And I really like the both of them. They very much parallel each other. If they were friends, if they grew up in the same time period, these guys would be best of friends. But I like Tikal because she's a little bit more deep than Amy. Beta, he was the drive for Gamma, really. And he hated seeing Beta being tortured and turned into scrap metal, and that's what really drove Gamma into going on the quest to save the Flickies in the first place. So although he doesn't have too much character of his own, he again was the driving force for Gamma. I'm gonna put him, I like Ray better. I like Trip better. Do I like him better than Tails Doll? Nah. I think I'm gonna put him a little bit lower. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put him right here. You know what? No. I'll put him right above Metal Sonic Kai. How's that? Yeah, right above Metal Sonic Kai. And then the Mark II is the same thing. Same deal. So we'll put him... I like regular Beta better. Only because it was regular Beta that really got turned into scrap metal. So I'll do that. But basically the same character. Whole lot of nothing in E103. Ugh, I don't know that symbol. Is that Delta? Maybe that's not. I don't think that's Delta. I don't know who that is. Sorry. I'm gonna put him in D tier. Of course, We didn't get to see much of him. He was just kind of like the filler for Sonic Adventure 1. So yeah. Epsilon, the same thing. I like blue color better than orange, so he's gonna go below. Purple, this guy, I don't remember this guy. I don't want to put him in unknown, but why do I not remember him too well? I don't know his name, E105. I'm gonna put him, he looks way cooler. This is for the design alone. I do know him, so I'm not gonna put him in unknown, because I played the game, but he looks a little cooler. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna have a character that is only there specifically for filler, I feel like it's okay to base it off of looks. Zero. I kind of like him. I like him because of the fear factor, and a lot of nostalgia definitely plays into this because of running away from Zero with Amy. I'm definitely gonna put him above. I think I'm gonna put him above most of these characters, actually. I'm gonna put him above Bark. I like Zero more. Alright, Birdie. I like Birdie, but I mean, they're just flickies at the end of the day, right? Hopefully I don't make anybody mad about that, but they are just flickies at the end of the day. I'm gonna put Birdie. Man, this kind of hurts, but I'm gonna put in Birdie in D tier. I think flicky, man. Trying to get back to his home. I'm gonna do that. I'm sorry. This is the easiest pick of my life. Shadow the Hedgehog is the best character in the entire franchise. Specifically, the Dreamcast version of him. I don't have to even say anything. He just has such a deep backstory, the lore behind him, his attitude, his reform. I told you about reform villains. And when they join your side, that is my kink. Shouldn't say that too loud. I love that. And his design. His voice. Everything about Shadow is cool as hell. And they need to make another Shadow game. That's not Shadow Generations. A real Team Dark game. That might be my next video. Where can they take Team Dark next? Super Shadow's the same thing. Right below regular Shadow. This is his true coming to the hero side moment when he turns into Super Shadow at the end of Sonic Adventure 2. And, whew, man, he just has such great moments. I'm sorry, the moment in Shadow the Hedgehog game, the final cutscene, so underrated, where he really is just like, that's it, I'm done with my past. It's given me nothing but grief and despair. I'm moving on, and I'm not gonna look back, and that's what the song is called, Never Turn Back. That's what it symbolizes, man, and people just did not pick up on that. Like, it was done so well. A guy that has been struggling with his past for basically the time since he's been awakened is now, that was his next step. First dealing with the conflict, right? Then overcoming his sense of revenge. And then after overcoming the revenge, it still stays with you. But how do you move on? And that's really what Shadow the Hedgehog is about, him moving on from his past. He has nothing to do with it anymore. And that's what it symbolizes. And I love that. I just love that so much. Shadow is just the best character, without a doubt. Dreamcast Rouge. I love Dreamcast Rouge. She is who made Team Dark in the first place my favorite character trio of all of Sonic. Even Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. They feel more like a unit, in my opinion. I think maybe it's mostly because of the dynamic between Shadow and Rouge. But if you ask me, the dynamic, I don't know. If I could see Sonic and Knuckles hanging out together alone without Tails, I don't know if I could say that I could see that realistically happening. You know what I'm saying? But Rouge and Shadow, for sure. Rouge and Omega, for sure. You know, she's the glue to that team. A lot of people think Shadow is the glue to Team Dark. No, Rouge is the glue. So I'm gonna put Rouge. I don't think she has a complicated backstory like Shadow, so she's not going to go all the way to Ultimate. But I really, really like Rouge. I'm going to put Rouge right below Tails, because I think Tails is just more useful, and I just love him in the Dreamcast era. He's actually cool in the Dreamcast era. Like, not useless. King Boom Boo! Man, I love this boss. Nostalgia really plays a factor into this. My dad and I loved this boss fight. So I'm gonna put King Boom Boo. I mean, I'm not gonna put him too high because after all, he's just a boss. But I just love the boss. I'm definitely gonna put him above Tails Doll for me. It's more special than Tails Doll, in my opinion. King Boom Boo is going right below Trip the Sun Gazer. Maria! Now, if you watched my hot takes video, you know how I feel about Maria. I think that she works best when she is just a plot point to move Shadow along through his journey. Maria is not an important character, despite everyone thinking that she is. She is not an important character. She serves only to be the reconciliation with Shadow in his own mind, and I am standing on that. I'm standing on that forever. I'm just gonna put Maria in D tier. She, again, is just the device to get Shadow to where he needs to be in Sonic Adventure 2, and then in Shadow the Hedgehog, she serves her purpose elsewhere in other ways. Maria's going at the bottom. Let me put her above Birdie, though. You know what? I'll probably put her above most of these Droid characters because of her prevalence. Because of her prevalence. So, yeah, that's where Maria's going. I don't really want to see Maria come back ever again, honestly. And she shouldn't have come back at all after the events of Shadow the Hedgehog, in my opinion. Gerald Robotnik. I like Gerald Robotnik, man. He was just such a tragic villain when he was really a hero. Like, he was trying to cure a disease, an incurable disease for all of mankind. He did all this research late night. I can just imagine it on that research station with nobody, none of your family, obviously. And you have Maria, but she's sick, and the pressure and anxiety, all of that culminating to the government, the people that are supposed to protect you. Sounds a lot like real life, huh? Trying and to take it for themselves as a weapon to be used. Like his work. The person that owns that work. The government just says, you know what, nah, it's mine now. And inevitably and consequentially kills Maria, by the way, who he's trying to cure, and forces him to build more stuff for them. The audacity, I must say. And it's like, no wonder why he's like, yeah, humanity doesn't deserve to live. Like, for real. I can just imagine the corruption that he saw in the world. It was like, that's it, man, I'm done. I love Gerald Robotnik. He is definitely above Dr. Eggman Classic. Man, he's above most of these guys. He is definitely above most of these guys. I'm gonna put him right below Rouge, Dreamcast Rouge. A tier. A tier villain. Such a great story. I'm sorry. I don't care. BioLizard. Eh. I don't like him more than... I do like him more than most of these characters, though, so... Maybe Mechasonic deserves to be in C tier. Wait, why is Mechasonic... Why is Egg Robo above Mechasonic? What am I doing? No wonder why this list didn't look too good. Alright, let me put BioLizard first. Definitely above this. I just put him above 0. Because of my nostalgia. Put him right there. Mechasonic, I'm sorry, bro. I don't know why I did that to you. I'll put Mechasonic right here. Actually, I'll put him above Metal and Bomb. Nah, I'll put Put Mecha Sonic Mark II right in C tier. And then I don't know why Egg Robo is in C tier. Oh, probably because I started with him and I just put him in the middle. So Egg Robo is definitely bottom of D tier. Just like whatever. Oh my chow, this mother fricker, he's below everybody. Oh my god. Literally, my favorite part of Sonic Adventure 2 is throwing him out the airlock. Hero Chow and Dark Chow, I'm gonna put him in unknown because I'm gonna admit something. I didn't really enjoy the Chow Garden in Sonic Adventure 2. I know so many people have nostalgia for the Chow Garden, and I wish I was one of those people, but that was just never the appeal to me in Sonic Adventure 2 when I played it as a kid. I just loved the speed stages. I loved the treasure hunting stages. I loved the story. I loved the characters. So the Chow Garden was just like, nah. There's nothing compared to... Man, I feel like I'm in the minority, like the real minority. And I kind of get jealous when people talk about their nostalgia for the Chow Garden. Of course I do have my own nostalgia with the Chow Garden. Like, obviously, collecting the keys by accident in the stages and then getting transported there. Like, seeing the environment, playing around with it a little bit, but that's pretty much it. I never really raced the Chows too much. I never really raised a Chow too much. So, yeah. The President... Oh my god, this guy is a president. He is a president. He's gonna go right above Birdie. Just no, like, real sense of urgency. In Sonic Adventure 2, he's just like, with his nonchalant voice, what exactly do you want, Dr. Eggman? Like, what are we doing, man? The world's about to end. Like, get it together. Mobilize some forces. Like, Sonic is not the enemy. And in Shadow the Hedgehog, he kind of shares the exact same sense of urgency, where it's like the commander that's trying to do everything, and the president is just like, the president. That's it. And then he gets his crib blown the fuck up. Cream the Rabbit. I like Cream. But, you know, I like Cream. I do like Cream, but she's gonna go below. Just a bit below. That's all. A bit below Amy. I really liked her dynamic in Sonic Rush with Blaze. I like how she is the parallel. She's the little sister to Amy Rose, so she's gonna have those traits where she's compassionate and loving and wants the best for people and sees the good in people. But Amy Rose was the OG, so we're gonna put her right below Amy Rose. Cheese is fine. Another companion character. They're not gonna get too high, but she's definitely above Birdie. Definitely above the president. Oh my god. I mean, they're just an iconic duo. It's kind of hard to separate them, but if they're individual, I'll put Cheese right here. I'd like to see Cheese have more of a story. Honestly, I would like to see that. Give him some more depth. Hey, you know, it doesn't matter. These side characters, they matter. They matter. So, Cheese is going in D tier. Vanilla, slept on. Vanilla kind of, you know what I'm saying? She gives off Disney Pixar mom energy. You feel me? And I fuck with that. So we're gonna put Vanilla. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna put her too high, honestly. Just because she hasn't had like a real role, and I'm letting my instincts take over right now. So I'm gonna put Vanilla in C tier, but I want to put her higher in C tier. I really want to see more of her. I really want to get to know the character more. And, you know, alright, that's it. I'm not going to do that no more. But for real, though, like, I do want to see more of Vanilla because she's an adult Sonic the Hedgehog character, and we don't, well, anthropomorphic character, I should say. And we don't see that pretty much at all. We have Cream and her mom. We don't get to see the parents of any of these characters, which is weird. I really kind of want to explore the parental side of some of these characters. And Vanilla's the perfect person to start with. I mean, I'm stumbling over my words because she's just so beautiful. I'm putting Vanilla I'm gonna put Vanilla right below Classic Amy. I think that's fair. Chocolate Chow. I like Chocolate Chow. I love the design of him when I was little, when webkins were a thing. I know I'm Unk. Webkins, I don't know if you kids remember that. When I had a webkins, or when there was webkins around, I had a chocolate Labradoodle? Labrador? I don't know which one is which, honestly. I'm not too much of a dog person. But I had a chocolate lab for my webkins, and I named him Hershey. So I love the chocolate-themed companion character, specifically for that reason only. I like chocolate more than cheese. Sue me. But again, just a companion character, so I'm not gonna rank them too high. But I think I like Chocola more than cheese. E123 Omega. Come on, man. A robot hell-bent on the destruction of Eggman. Best friends with Shadow and Rouge. So he gets more points by proxy for being a part of Team Dark. However, I do want to see this character expanded on a lot more. This is the character that I feel like in Team Dark needs the most baking out of all of them. Because at the end of the day, he's still just a robot, just destroying things, and I want him to get some more depth. So if I'm going to judge him solely on the games, like I have been, I'm going to put E123 Omega in C tier, unfortunately. But he's definitely going to be above... Honestly, I'm going to put him at the top of C tier. You know, I'm going to put him at B tier. Because Fang is here. I'm going to put him right below Cream. Yeah, I think that's fair. Actually, I'm going to put him right between Amy and Cream. I like them a lot. Alright, next, Vector. Just a chill guy, doing the right thing. And we also have the same taste in woman. Alright, that's actually the last one. I'm not going to do it. I like him as a leader, and he's competent in his work. So, especially in Sonic Heroes. So, I'm going to put Vector right by Vanilla, where he belongs. Right above Vanilla. SBO. SBO is just cool, man. I can't really give you, like, more of an explanation. SBO is just so cool. I love that he's a chameleon, so he can camouflage, and therefore they turn him into a ninja because he's stealthy. That is the perfect animal combination, right? Like, a lot of these, I'll give credit. A lot of these characters are original in their powers. They don't go off of earthly, like, abilities, which I like. I think it should be strict fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like, a hedgehog obviously is not fast. So, I like the fact that they give unorthodox combinations of animals and powers. That's what makes it so special and gives it its own unique identity. But I really do just love the combination of SBO being a ninja and him being able to camouflage. SBO is just a cool guy, man. He's just cool. I'm gonna put him right below Cream. Charmy B. It's gonna be a little less cool, but at the end of the day, man, he's not the most competent in the team, and almost feels like sometimes he doesn't belong. I really, really, really want Sonic the Hedgehog to lean in full stop into their detective work. I want each of them to specialize in some sort of detective work, where, for example, SBO could be for recon, obviously. Vector is more of like the brains of the operation. You really could piece everything together and see things that, you know, Charmy or SBO can't see. And because he's older, he has more of that experience, so I feel like that fits him. And Charmy, that's the thing, like, even for me, I mean, I'm trying to come up with it on the spot, but he is definitely someone where it's not as obvious what his role would be. So I'm gonna put Charmy. I think he's gonna be right below Vanilla. Yeah, that's what I'll put Charmy. Obviously, I have a bias towards the Dreamcast era. Egg Pawn. I like Egg Pawn less than... Actually, you know what? No. Egg Pawn is actually cool. I like all the variations of Egg Pawn. So if we're counting the variations, Egg Pawn is actually really cool. At least they attack you in the Dreamcast era, am I right? Like, Sonic Colors, what the hell are you doing? What were you thinking? Can't believe people like that game, but I digress. Egg Pawn is honestly cooler than the rest of these, like, the variations I'm talking about. I'm not talking about strictly just the Egg Pawn, because I don't think any of the other variations are on here. So I'm going to include them in just the one Egg Pawn picture. So you have the guy with the spear, the guy with the shield, you have the Egg Pawns that hover, that fly. All the Sonic Heroes variations, basically, those are really cool enemies. And I like what they did with the variations, how the silver ones are metal, so you need to use the power type characters. And the flying ones, obviously you need to use Thunder Shoot to bring them down, or just destroy them in the air. Yeah, I thought it was really cool how they implemented that in Sonic Adventure, in Sonic Heroes. Dreamcast Metal Sonic. Really the only game that he was really in was Sonic Heroes. He was in Sonic Adventure 2 for the battle part, but he didn't have anything in the story. But I will count it in his inclusion. He was fast as hell. He had that black shield. That was my first introduction to Metal Sonic, as opposed to classic Metal Sonic. So I'm going to put Metal Sonic Dreamcast up top of B tier. I definitely like him more than Mecha Sonic, because at the end of the day, Sonic Heroes wasn't Metal Sonic, it was Neo. So, which brings us to Neo Metal Sonic, and he's definitely an A tier villain. I just freaking love Neo Metal Sonic. I thought it was such a good idea. I'm gonna put him... Although I like the story of Gerald Robotnik more, I just love how menacing this guy is. Just how cool his design looks, man. Metal Sonic was awesome. Copying biodata is a really cool idea. Metal Overlord, come on, too iconic. Metal Overlords, although he is getting overused now, I think that's it. We should stop with the Metal Overlord. I'm saying that. Meanwhile, in my Sonic Rivals video, I'm gonna bring back Metal Overlord. So I'm being hypocritical for sure. But Metal Overlord was awesome, and in his game he was just freaking cool, man. And that transformation scene, fire. All right, finally we're getting to the modern version. It looks like the modern version of these characters. Modern Sonic. Modern Sonic. Am I right, guys? Definitely not as cool as Dreamcast. Honestly, it's hard to say, really. God, if I'm thinking, like... No, it's not hard to say. He's definitely at the bottom. He's at the bottom of... Obviously, I'd like to see him more than Classic Eggman. I'm gonna put him right at the top of C tier. God. He was so freaking cool in Sonic Unleashed. Sonic 06... He still had that coolness, but Elise really dragged him down, and that story really dragged him down. He was so cool in Unleashed, man. Oh my god, it's just so good. That's like the perfect characterization for me of modern Sonic, Sonic Unleashed. And then Sonic Colors happened, and I don't know what people were thinking calling that game good. Sonic Lost World happened. He's just annoying. He talks like he's a little child. He laughs at the dumbest jokes. He's just mean too. Like, that's just not Sonic to me. And I really don't like the direction that they took as a character. I think Roger Craig Smith is great as Sonic though. He really grew on me over the years. So this is not a diss on him. but the writing of the character definitely took a hit. Alright, Modern Supersonic. Modern Supersonic is definitely top tier. Definitely above Dreamcast Supersonic. Honestly, I'm gonna put him in Ultimate. He's actually above Super Shadow. Supersonic Modern has been almost always nothing shy of fantastic. Let's talk about the games. Sonic 06, really cool, whatever. Standard Supersonic boss fight. Sonic Unleashed? Bro, who was cooking that CGI? I need to know. They cooked with that. Oh my god, the intro is one of the best media out there of Sonic the Hedgehog. Point blank period. That intro is just too fire. It had no right going that hard. We'll talk about the end boss fight of Supersonic and Sonic Unleashed, which was great. The music, the stakes, the epic scale of it all. Man, that is a Supersonic boss fight. Although the mechanics were okay, whatever, I'm excusing it. Sonic Colors had Supersonic in it. Not really Supersonic boss fight, but at least you could play as Supersonic in the levels. I think that was a first for that game, or the series, I should say. Where you could play as Supersonic in an actual stage. Really appreciated that. That was a stepping stone, so it gets points. And the DS version actually does get a Supersonic boss fight, though, at the end. Come on, man. Sonic Frontiers. I don't care if you hate the game or not. You have to admit that the Supersonic boss fights were just unlike anything the series has ever seen. You at least got to give it points for that. The epicness. Taking on those titans that are like 1,000 times your size. Come on, man. Stop playing me. I hate when I see Sonic Frontiers hate when it comes to the boss fights. It's like, alright, bro, like, Dark Spine Sonic. This was fire as a kid. Oh my god, seeing him get a new form, that was something else. That was really special. Dark Spine Sonic, although it is cool that he did get a new form, I wouldn't put him above other characters. So he's not going to get too high. He's really just a cool version of Sonic, of Supersonic. Really not Supersonic, of Sonic. I thought it was odd that he only used 4 world rings instead of all 7. But it makes sense that he would be Dark Spine Sonic with 4 of the rings. And that leads to the imagination. What would he be if he had all of the emotions intact? Would he be like just a Arabian Nights version of Supersonic? That would be cool. That'd be really cool. So it makes sense that the 4 negative emotions that he was feeling during the time when Shower died would make him transform to Dark Spine Sonic. And it's the evil version of Sonic, by the way. I'm not gonna say evil, but like not a very virtuous version of Sonic. And he was able to overcome it, which is awesome. So I'm gonna put Dark Spine Sonic bottom of B tier, because I do like him better than Modern Sonic for sure. And I think that he gets most of his points from this cool factor. Excalibur Sonic, man, that cutscene was so epic. I honestly like Excalibur Sonic more than Dark Spine Sonic. I just thought it was so fire. I think it's just because of the resemblance to Supersonic, so it's more familiar. But I do like him a tad bit more than Dark Spine Sonic. Having him have Excalibur Werehog Sonic. Love Werehog Sonic. I love the fact that it's a dark version of Sonic, but his personality really keeps him from turning into a bad person in this form. Which is why I'm saying Sonic Unleashed, bro. Sonic Unleashed's version of Sonic the Hedgehog is unbeatable. So I really like Werehog. I definitely don't want to see him return, because I think that's what makes Sonic Unleashed special. So if they were going to make an Unleashed 2, definitely do something different, give him a different form. or just make it Sonic. I'm gonna put Werehog right above Omega. You know what? No, I'll put him below Omega, because I like Omega a little bit more. But he's awesome. Tails, the Fox Classic. You already know how I feel about this. He's in F tier. Enough said. God, I hate it. Honestly, it even started with Sonic Unleashed too. Like, he was kind of a... I wouldn't say he was a pushover. He did get scared, but I kind of excuse it more, only because there was just way too many of them for him to take on alone. I would have rather him be characterized like he's doing his best, but like he's just too tired, instead of being like, oh, like I can't do this, like I'm scared, and then running away. So I think the characterization, someone did make a point that it did start in Sonic Unleashed, but it was more forgivable in that game. Knuckles Modern, D tier, just kind of a nothing sandwich again. He's definitely gonna be above Eggpon and Maria for sure, and Heavy Magician. Rather see him more than most of these characters. I'll put him right below Mecha Sonic Mark II, because I just have no care for Knuckles anymore, and it's kind of sad, because this guy just super sucks. And I really don't like the voice direction. I just don't think it suits Knuckles. I think we need more of like a calm voice. Dr. Eggman, he's always going to be good, but the modern version, it's just not really it to me. Like, he's just not that intimidating anymore. Oh, I hated the Frontiers dynamic with Sage. God. It was so bad. It was cringeworthy, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, Sonic and Dr. Eggman are kind of equal now. It is what it is. Modern Amy Rose, I don't really mind her too much. I put her right above her classic version, because she's more in depth than her classic version, let's be real. I'm gonna put her above Tails Doll and King Boom Boo, actually. Put her right there. Right below Trip. I'd rather see Trip in a game than modern Amy in a game. Oh well. God, kill me now. I don't know why we had to do this. Like, honestly, I have such... He almost loses more points for how stark the contrast is, because he was my favorite character and they just obliterated his character. I hate the fact that he's just so moody, like just really leaning into that edge, and that, not even edge really, they're just leaning into like the gloom of the character, and it's like, bro, he's not gloomy like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just getting old. Like, he moved on from his past. Like, yeah, he's more matter-of-fact than most of the Sonic the Hedgehog cast, but, like, I don't want to see him be like, especially in Sonic Boom. I just don't like his character, and Sonic, I mean, yeah, in Shadow Generations, it's just like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, he's always, like, so pissed off when he sees Sonic. I just don't like that. I don't like that he's pissed. After all they've been through, like, yeah, Sonic is more annoying, quote-unquote. He's really not. But, like, he doesn't do things the way Shadow does. And that's what should piss Shadow off, more than him just being mad at Sonic's presence. It's just annoying. It's like, why do we keep on doing this trope? It's just, I don't want to see that anymore. So modern Shadow is gonna be, it's kind of like on par with modern Knuckles. I'd rather see modern Shadow though, more than most of these characters. I'd rather see Vanilla get more character development, so I'm gonna put Shadow below Vanilla. Modern Shadow, that is. Modern Super Shadow. Did we even get a modern Super Shadow? I guess Sonic 06. I don't really have too many thoughts about that. I'm just gonna put Super Shadow. It's definitely above regular Shadow. I'll put Super Shadow probably at top. I do want to see a modern Super Shadow. So, but just based off straight up Sonic 06, he is basically Shadow, so let's just put Super Shadow at the top, C tier. Modern Rouge. I don't really give a shoot about the censorship in pertaining to this particular tier list. Like, that's not going to be a factor. I'm more concerned about the character of Rouge and the aesthetics and the, well, I guess that would be the censorship. Okay, fuck it. Let's factor that in. I don't like the fact that they do that. It's just a cycle. Like, I think part of her charm and part of what made her character is the fact that she was a little sultry. Like, come on, bro. Why are we doing this in modern times? It's just not that big of a deal. Like, it really isn't. But it's still like, why? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care, but it's just like, I do. A little bit. So, but let's talk more about her characterization. I liked her in Dark Beginnings. I just don't like her voice. I think Rouge has one of the worst voices in the Sonic cast so far, other than Cream. Cream and Rouge have it pretty bad. I don't like their voice direction. They need to change that up. Like, I can hear Rouge's age in her voice. And that's not what you want when a character is supposed to be youthful and beautiful. Not that age makes you not youthful and well, it does not make you youthful, but not that it doesn't make you beautiful. You know what I'm trying to say. Like she's very much supposed to be in her, like, 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to sound not, like, judgmental right now, kind of beating around the bush. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Rouge is going to be right there, right below Dr. Eggman. I still love her character, but I really want to see her voice change, please. Black Doom is awesome. Doomsday is going to be pretty much the exact same. Love him as a villain. His plan is weird, but you know what? Whatever. I'm going to put him in B tier because he was very cool. I'll put him above Trip, Super Trip. But I do think he had his time already. You know what I'm saying? But for what he was definitely up there. You know what? I'm gonna put him right above. Right above Werehog Sonic. And the same goes for Devil Doom and Doomsday. Doomsday a little bit less. Devil Doom, because they're the same thing. Devil Doom was awesome. I'll put him right above Black Doom. Yeah, good villain. Gun Commander. I loved his backstory. He was a little stupid because Shadow saved the world and he still thought he was the enemy. But it makes sense. It makes sense from his perspective. If you really think about it. Like, yeah, if you grew up and you saw this happen and your family got wiped out because of Shadow and he was made from an alien race and now that alien race is destroying everything, you're going to be guilty by association. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you could have brought him in for questioning and they could have talked it out and solved their issues. But it just wasn't the time. I mean, he did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to put the Gun Commander... Sorry, I'm going to put him below Modern Shadow. Shadow Android, he's kind of a basic villain, or a basic enemy, I should say. But I do like the Shadow Androids more than the Egg Pawns. Actually, no, I'll put him less than the Egg Pawns. Yeah. Shadow Androids are just cool. He's Shadow, you know what I'm saying? Blaze the Cat. Blaze the Cat is fire. I really liked her arc in Sonic Rush, and I really liked their dynamic in Sonic Rush Adventure, that they didn't forget, and that she had to relearn her arc because she didn't. I hate when stories do that, where they introduce a character, and then the next time you see them, you have to restart the whole entire character arc. It's just so dumb and lazy. And they have to get retaught their lessons. I'm looking at you, Ben 10. I'm looking at you. Top of B tier for me. Definitely not more than classic Tails or classic Knuckles, because they're the OGs, man. But Blaze is such a good character. Enough said. We're not going to talk about 06. That didn't even happen. Burning Blaze, really cool super form. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of the Soul Emeralds. I think the Chaos Emeralds, this is a whole nother discussion, to be honest, but I'll just throw it in here. I think the Chaos Emeralds really should be the most powerful artifacts in the Sonic franchise. They have been prevalent for forever. If you're going to come in here and say that the Phantom Ruby is now more powerful than all 7 Chaos Emeralds combined, I just don't believe you. And I think that you should not have any say in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. As long as the Soul Emeralds and every other form and alternate version of the Emeralds is under the base form of the Chaos Emeralds. The Chaos Emeralds should be like the Infinity Stones of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. They created the universe, they literally contain chaos and control chaos. Without them, the universe couldn't be born because it would just all be chaos. I feel like that's a perfect origin for the Chaos Emeralds. They always were, and they always will be. No matter what. I just hate seeing the disrespect on the Chaos Emeralds, man. You're not telling me that the Phantom Ruby is more powerful. I'm sorry, you're just not. This video is getting way too long. Actually, way too long. So let's just finish up everything until we get to Sonic Chronicles, and then we'll start another video. The fact that there's another version of Eggman, and he's literally called Eggman, like, that's just so lazy. They should have made a different villain that resembles Eggman and kind of has the same, like, motives and skill sets as Eggman, but it should have been a different person. Because Sonic and Blaze are not counterparts in any way, so it kind of makes no sense why these guys are perfect copies and then Sonic and Blaze are not. Just my opinion. Marine the raccoon. I like Marine. I think she's such a cute companion character. You know, she's definitely better than most of the classic characters that didn't get enough screen time. I really want to see her come back. I want to put her right... Honestly, I'm going to put her above Charmy. Even though Charmy has more experience and way more games, like, Marine still made a lasting impression. But I think it's because of the ending, how Sonic had to go home. That always tugs on the heartstrings for me, so it made her more memorable. I know that she wasn't the greatest character during the story, kind of like being annoying and whatever, but I like the fact that she had to become that character. Like, it wasn't just instant, you know? We kind of take that for granted. So, I do like Marine, and I don't think she was that annoying, really. I liked her design, I liked everything about her. She was aspiring, she had goals, she wanted to be a captain of her own ship, you know? I like her. That's it. Johnny had some awesome boss fights, and really hard boss fights. I really like Johnny. So I'm gonna put Johnny... yeah, I'm gonna put Johnny right... Is that crazy to put Johnny above BioLizard? Listen, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Johnny was just cool. He was just cool, man. I don't know what to say. Like, this is coming from someone who really likes Sonic Adventure 2. BioLizard is just like a boss, like an enemy to defeat. Like, Johnny actually had like a personality. His fights were tough. He had multiple encounters, more screen time. So, Johnny's gonna be there. Captain Whisker, he was awesome too. This is where the Eggman counterparts is like more forgivable. Captain Whisker being an Eggman counterpart worked for me. And he's not really an Eggman counterpart because he's not named Eggman. Yeah, he has a mustache, but whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. I liked Captain Whisker, but not more than Johnny. Silver the Hedgehog. I'll put Silver above Blaze, only because I think his powers are really unique. And I like the fact, I really like the fact, that Silver is one of the most powerful characters in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Honestly, he is the most powerful character in the franchise, and I don't like when they weaken him, especially in the comics. He can single-handedly take on Sonic and beat him consistently. He can hold his own against Shadow the Hedgehog, which is the ultimate life form. He didn't have too much screen time though. He was only in Sonic 06, which is why he's getting lower. Super Silver, I also feel like he deserves to have the power of the Chaos Emeralds after his journey in Sonic 06, really discovering himself and learning to let go of what was holding him back, which was finding the Iblis Trigger and reuniting or joining forces with Sonic. I love that. That's what really should get you the super form. Letting go of things that held you back. And Sonic could always use the Chaos Emeralds because he had nothing really holding him back. Elise. Boo! Oh my god, Boo. Big Boo. Elise should have been replaced with Blaze. I will die on that hill forever. Elise. Blaze should have taken the role of Elise. I don't know why it didn't happen. They literally have the same powers. It makes perfect sense for Iblis to be contained in Blaze. And then it makes even like, from a narrative point, where Silver is like conflicted and wants to find Iblis trigger and finds out that the Iblis trigger triggers what's inside his own friend, and then what he's supposed to do. Like, that is in of itself is such a compelling narrative choice. I don't know why they didn't do that. I can't believe it. Like, I almost can't believe it. Blaze was the perfect conduit to hold Iblis, and then it would have made the kiss way easier on the eyes. And there was always a little romantic, you know, something going on romantically between Sonic and Blaze. Like, you could kind of feel it. They never like flirted or anything, but you could kind of feel it. They're counterparts after all. So if anybody's gonna be, you know, the person to actually get a hold of Sonic's love interest, I feel like it would be Blaze, because she's just too capable. So yeah, that's my opinions on that. I'm going on tangents so much during this video. But it's going to be a long form video. I'm probably not going to edit this too much because I kind of like just chatting it up. You just throw this on in the background. Duke of Soliana, he's just another, he's going to be, actually no, he's F tier because he's a butthole. Like, trying to revive your dead wife and then releasing Mephiles into the world? What's wrong with you, bro? Like, it's not that serious. Like, why are we playing God right now? Like, you're a bum. You're a bum. Grieve like everybody else. With your dead wife, you bitch. Sonic Man, S tier, ultimate tier. He's above Shadow, so I'm not really going into detail with that. Mephiles. What a cool villain, right? Sometimes you just have to have a villain that is just evil for the sake of being evil. He just craves destruction, and that's all there is to it. His plan sucks, though. He's gonna be hard to rank. I'm starting to get ranking fatigue right now, so I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to rush this either. But he's definitely above Biolizard. I'll put him right below Modern Shadow. I think that's where he deserves. Iblis, just a monster creature, so he's gonna be in like that category of like just side enemies, you know what I'm saying, or companions. He's cool. He's not cooler than Shadow Android. I'll give him above the E100 series. Solaris, that's cool. I'll put him at the top of D tier, because I just don't think he deserves C tier. Solaris is really cool, though. I like the concept of his fusing Mephiles with Iblis and forming into the Sun God himself. Solaris true form, kind of the same deal. Let's put him at the top since it's truer form. And you know what? You know what? Let's end the video there. Alright, I'm excited for that. If you liked the video, definitely give it a like. Definitely share with your friends. And hit that subscribe button. I will be posting videos every single week. Whether it's movies, TV shows, or video games, I will be talking about it right here. Especially if it pertains to Sonic the Hedgehog. I want to branch out to more franchises eventually. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for 1,200 subscribers. I'm so excited that we're building this community brick by brick. Thank you guys for everybody that supports my projects. And I can't wait to have the Sonic Rivals video come out in the fall. It's undefined as of now, but I am cooking with that video. I'm telling you, you guys are not going to want to miss it. Another reason to subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.